everybody! Welcome to the first day of the Johnny Appleseed Park District Virtual Day Camp. We are here this week to talk all about birds! It's Bird Week! Yay! Dan and I are so excited that you're joining us this week. We will be posting 2 to 3 videos every day this week, Monday through Friday, all dealing with birds. And they're all designed for our youngest day campers all the way up to adults. We'll have information for everybody this week. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that we have a few more camp kits left over from last week. If you are interested, it's not too late to get a camp kit, but our main office is still not open for the public. So if you're interested, call our office, email our office, or message us on Facebook to set up a time and date when you will swing by to pick up one of these fabulous camp kits. They cost $5 each, and that's just enough to cover our costs. All right, we're gonna talk about birds this week. And look, I brought a few different birds out on my table. Birds come in all shapes and sizes and colors. But today, we're gonna focus on what they all have in common. I'm gonna come around here so that I can hold up a few items to show you. Now, as I mentioned, these are all birds. They look very different from each other, but they're all called birds because they all have certain things that are the same. Now, before we talk about that, let's think about all the animals in the whole wide world. Scientists divide them into 2 big groups. One big group are all the animals that have a backbone. Do you have a backbone? Yes, you do. In fact, if you lean over and rub your fingers up and down the center of your back, you can feel your backbone. So there's a whole bunch of animals in the world that have backbones. And for you older campers, the big science word for that is vertebrates. Animals with backbones are called vertebrates. And then there's a whole other big group of animals that, believe it or not, don't have a backbone. Things such as worms and snails and octopuses and starfish and butterflies and beetles, they actually don't have a backbone. And that big science word to describe animals without a backbone is invertebrate, not vertebrate, not a backbone, invertebrate. So birds have certain things in common. The first characteristic that all birds have is that they do have a backbone. They're vertebrates. Number 2, all birds are covered in feathers. If you see any animal at all and it has feathers, you know that it is a bird. Number 3, all birds have wings. This is actually the wing from a great horned owl. All birds have wings, but not all birds can actually fly. There are certain birds such as, let's see, an ostrich and an emu and a kiwi and a penguin. They've got little tiny wings, but they actually can't fly. There are other animals that have wings that aren't birds. Things such as butterflies and dragonflies and bats. They can fly, but they don't have feathers, so they are not considered a bird. So we've got backbone, number 2, feathers, number 3, wings, number 4, all birds lay eggs. The babies hatch out of eggs. There's other animals that lay eggs, such as fish and insects and reptiles and amphibians, but all birds lay eggs. And number 5, all birds have a beak or a bill. It is a specialized mouth part that allows them to eat certain types of food. This happens to be a skull from a great horned owl. And if you can see, it's got a very big curved beak that helps it eat. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about bird beaks. One last characteristic that all birds share in common is that all birds are warm-blooded. Now, that's a really difficult idea to understand, but let me show you something to help you explain this. I've got a pretend thermometer here. And if I were to take your temperature right now, it would be about 98 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, think about being outside playing on a really, really bitter, cold winter day. And you've been outside all day. You've been sledding and building snowmen and making snow angels. And at the end of the day, oh, you're so cold that you're shivering and your lips turn blue. And if I took your temperature right then, what would it be? It would be 98 degrees, even though we feel so freezy cold on a cold winter day. Our temperature inside our body stays the same. Think about being outside on a really hot day, almost like today. Oh, maybe you're at the pool. And the sun is beating down on your face. It's so hot you can't hardly breathe, and there's sweat dripping down your face. You're so hot. And if I took your temperature, what would it be? 98 degrees. Get out! Even though we feel so hot, way down inside of us, our temperature is the same. That is called being warm-blooded. When your temperature stays the same inside, no matter how hot or cold you might feel. Birds are warm-blooded too. Their body temperature stays the same. What happens if our temperature doesn't stay about 98? What happens if it goes up to 102 or 103? Ooh, that's not good. That means we're sick. Our body temperature has to stay the same in order for us to be healthy. All right, so there you go. In order to talk about birds this week, we better darn well know what a bird is. All birds have backbones. They have feathers. They have wings. They lay eggs. They have beaks or bills, and they are all warm-blooded. Oh, thank you so much, campers, for joining me today. Make sure you tune in this afternoon. Dan's going to have some more posts for our virtual day camp this week. Make sure to play outside today. See you tomorrow. Bye.